the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Bunch of slap-jawed faggots around here.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to another Guinea Pig Collective Nibbling Live with friends. And of course, we've got with us, as always, so pleased to always have her here with us. We've got the Lasso of Truth. How you doing, Lasso?
I'm well, happy to be here. Thank you for having me on again. And hope everybody had a great Christmas yesterday.
No, I'm sure everybody did. And if you didn't, you better have had a good Pigmas. And of course, we got our man from the north. We've got Steve. What's up, Steve?
Hello.
What? No puns?
No. Well, you said hello. It's not that many puns I can do. But yeah, hi, I'm here too. Merry Christmas.
You bunch of filthy animals.
Anybody ever try to take your man?
You slack-jawed, swamp-ass bitches.
If only Christy was in the chat.
Yeah.
I didn't really, normally we get together and we just have fun. We chat about whatever's on our mind, whatever we enjoy. And one of the things I want to talk about is I know everybody already knows the news that Henry Cavill is working on the Warhammer series. And I'm pretty sure that all the fake shills and fake franchise lovers are going to be coming out of the woodworks on this one. I would just like to remind everybody, I was talking about Warhammer before it was cool. A lot of other people like Bruce Lombardi was talking about it for a long time too. There's a lot of people out there that love this franchise and have been waiting for this franchise to actually get some kind of live action movie or something that was actually going to be worthy to actually watch on film. So I'm going to play this real quick just to remind everybody that we were talking about this over a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome back. Tommy here with our good buddy Helmet, Lord Helmet, Dark Helmet. Say hi to the people, Dark Helmet. Say hello. Helmet and I have a new figure in-house that we're going to take a look at. And of course, Helmet is always involved with all the space fantasy stuff, so Helmet wanted to be first on board to take a look at this new figure.
In the grim darkness of the far future, mankind stands alone.
So from McFarlane Toys, today we have Warhammer 40,000, Adepta Sororitas Battle Sister.
Against unimaginable odds. Attack is the strongest defense.
This one looks pretty interesting. I can't wait to get this one out of the box to see what this one looks like. Some of these McFarlane figures have been really amazing, and other ones have been mediocre at best. So we'll see what this one looks like. And with her, we also have one other one, and we have the flayed one.
transmuted from fragile and radiation-cursed bodies to forms more suited for the ravages of war. Stripped of flesh, of mortality, even of their souls.
The Necrons were a pretty cool species in the Warhammer series, and I'm actually kind of excited to see this one because I never thought I would actually see a Necron figure.
Anyway, guys, those are some of the figures that I've been picking up, and I know a lot of people have collected miniatures over the years. I mean, some of the miniatures you can get pre-painted, other ones you would paint yourself. But Warhammer has been around for a very long time. I believe it was started in sometime in 1984. So somewhere around that time is when Warhammer actually started, and it started with the little miniatures and everything. And of course, there was a role-playing game as well. But Warhammer's been around for a long time, and somebody like Henry Cavill,
several role-playing games.
Oh, well, yeah. Over the years, they've changed.
Because one of them's set in medieval times.
Yes, they actually did. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the old Warhammer game that they had for that? It was the medieval type.
Yes, the tabletop role-playing game. Yeah.
Well, no, an actual video game. I think it was called War March.
There's plenty video games.
Those were a lot of fun. I think I had War March on the 360. I think I had it on the 360 is where I had that one.
Yeah, you had orcs coming in on what looked like Spitfires and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, though.
Yeah, those figures looked awesome. I don't know anything about Warhammer, so I can't speak to that. I'm just happy that someone like Henry Cavill, who is actually into it, is going to be at the head of this project. I'm happy for the fans of it in that regard.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully, we get exactly what we want this time.
And a lot of people praise the Star Wars Expanded Universe, the EU, for covering 25,000 years. Loosely, though, there are gaps, but they weren't the first to do that. Warhammer 40K did almost double, the timeline.
Well, I think that's one of the things a lot of people forget about Warhammer. They think about the game itself. And maybe they think about the tabletop game with the figures. Maybe some people think about the video games that have come out. They don't realize that there is a wealth of lore behind that with all the freaking novels and everything that they have out on the shelves.
Well, over 200 novels. Actually, closer to 400, I think.
Wow.
It's a lot. And there used to be comics as well. So it has everything Star Wars has except for movies.
Yep. Absolutely. Real quick, let's say hi to some of the people that are in the chat. Of course, Nelson, the psychopath, popped in first. What's up, Nelson? If you decide you want to stop on and talk, just let me know. You know what? I don't even care. If anybody decides they want to stop in and chat with us for a little while, we're not going to be running incredibly long. We're going to run in about an hour or so because my back is messed up from cleaning pickle cages. But if anybody feels brave enough to stop in from the chat, there's the link. Just jump in and say hello. We also got Papa Cotton in the house. What is up, Papa? Always good to see you in the chat. Parrothead's here as well. What's up? And, of course, Lasso of Truth hanging out on the panel and in the chat because she loves to do double duties. Unlike a lot of these soy bitches that are ruining franchise today, she can chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. But no, I am excited to see what Henry might be able to do with this franchise since he's the one that's been pushing this for a long time. He's been pushing these different companies to try to get this thing started. I think with him behind it, I think there's a very good chance that he may succeed in giving fans what they want. Now, I know there's a lot of people saying, oh, well, Amazon or HBO or any of these other companies are going to screw it up. And I would say to a degree, you could be right, but there's also been exceptions to that rule. And we've seen that with Cobra Kai over on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was just going to say, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic on it for you guys. I do worry about because it's Amazon, but with Henry Cavill, at the head, like I said, I'm gonna stay optimistic about it.
Well, the way things have been going with a lot of these different companies and what they've seen them do to a lot of these different franchises, with luck, hopefully Cavill put some kind of stipulation if they try to take the franchise into a direction that he doesn't want to go, he has the opt-out ability to pull it from Amazon and market it somewhere else.
I don't think he can because I'm pretty sure Amazon paid the lease for Warhammer. I think he's just attached as producer. I don't think he opened his wallet.
Oh.
No, that would be terrible. But I mean, I still think with him behind it, hopefully we'll get something good this time. Hopefully companies like Netflix are going to start learning their lessons from the trash that they're putting out and watching people walk away from that franchise and all the interest that they had generated for it just dissipate because the shit that they're putting out. I've seen a very small segment of that trailer for their new Blood Hunt or whatever it's called. That looks like trash. Looks like absolute garbage.
The stupid stuff though is they're having all the characters are elves or dwarves. There's no humans because during that time in the Witcher universe, there's no humans on the planet because basically there's a conjunction of spheres, which is different worlds and stuff. That happens and humans spill into the Witcher world, right? And only human males can be Witchers. So they're doing the story about the origin of the Witchers and how the Witchers were made before there were humans there. Right?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's that fucking stupid. It's yeah.
Is this why Henry decided to walk away from it?
Well, season 2 of the main show, that's where they kill the story. There's you can't salvage the story, and the books have a major twist at the very end in the final book. They casually did that twist in season 2, like it was nothing. They just ruined all the foreshadowing you could have had, and it was kind of bigger than the Vader and Luke, right, from Star Wars. But they just hand waved it away, and then they had events that happened after basically a rebellion among the sorcerers, and that leads to the Elven Lady getting an area to rule in. They had her get the area before they had the rebellion. She got that area as a result of the rebellion, right? They haven't even done that. So it's just, and that bit with Yennefer, the main sorceress, having a hunchback and stuff when she was young. In the books, that is one sentence. That's it. It's mentioned in one sentence, and they did 4 or 5 episodes based on it. That's what they focused on. So it's there's no chance in hell that they can stick to the source material at all at this point.
If for myself, I'd never played the Witcher games. I'd never read any of the novels. So, basically I was a newbie watching the Witcher series. And the first one wasn't too bad. Season 1 wasn't too bad. Season 2 really lost me, and I just became completely disinterested with it. And I never even finished watching it all because they disinterested. And that's somebody who doesn't even know the lore of the characters.
That happened to me as well.
I read all the books this year, all 8 of them. And season 2, they kill off one of the Witcher guys. Eskel, that's his name. He survives the books. He trained Ciri quite heavily in one of the books, and they just killed him off.
Ridiculous. Real quick, Say hello to Soul Assassins in the chat. What's up, Soul Assassin? Luffy as God is also in the house. Sup, y'all? Merry Christmas, bitches. It's good to see you, Luffy. Soul Assassin says, have you all seen the animated Warhammer film? It's really good, especially with Doom music added to it. I don't remember seeing it. So if you have a link to that, drop it in the chat. I'll check it out after the show. He also says, check out Heels versus Babyface review today. They ruined Eridan.
Well, he's a year too late because they did that in season 2 by having him get possessed by a witch. That isn't even in the books. So yeah, he's late to the party on that one.
No, that's not really what we started with, Papa. It just kind of went there when we were talking about what might happen with the Warhammer series, which I am optimistic that it's going to be good. At least I think the first season is going to be good. Where it goes from there, who knows? So I'm holding out hope. Soul Assassin dropped that. Thank you, Soul Assassin. I'm going to check that out after the stream. You know what? I do have. There was a DVD of a Warhammer cartoonish, like a mini short film that they did, and I can't remember what I got it with. I don't remember if it was a standalone or if it was part of a comic book or a book that I bought. I think it might have been a book. I can't remember exactly, but I picked up this thing. It was a steelbook set, and the animated that they had in that was not bad at all. It was set in the 40,000 universe, and it was quite entertaining. I mean, shit, even some of when we're talking about those old Warhammer games like War March and the 40,000 that they had for, I think you can get on Steam and I think GOG. That's on GOG, right? 40,000?
Might be. It's a real-time strategy game, isn't it?
Yes.
Kind of like Warcraft in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You build stuff that you can recruit units from, and
yep.
Yeah,
because I had mine off of Steam, and that game is a lot of fun. And some of the cinematic cutscenes that they have for that game, holy shit, they're absolutely fantastic. Like if you pieced all of them together, you got a little mini short story right there that really does explain that time frame of the Warhammer universe fairly well, I think. And then they had the one that was like a third person game where you actually played as a space marine. This was a number of years ago, and once again, that might have either been the 360 or I think that was on 360 as well. I don't think that was Xbox One. So, I mean, that was another good game. That was a lot of fun. You get to actually play as a space marine and wield all the weapons, pick up upgrades, and battle all these different enemies in the game. And once again, expanding on the Warhammer universe. So there's a whole wealth of stuff that they could pull from, and I think they could possibly do right.
Yeah, it looks like there's holy shit. There's how many Warhammer games do you think there are with expansion packs and the like?
Oh Jesus. God, I'm not 100% certain.
It's close to 40.
Wow.
Yeah.
Space Souls is the best game. And Soul Assassin says, I've only seen people play Warhammer at comic stores. Never got into it, but looks cool. Yeah, the game itself with the miniatures is absolutely fantastic, but it is extremely expensive to get into. And what's going on, Keely Chow? Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, yeah, Space Hulk is a Warhammer game. I did not know that. I remember Space Hulk. It's from 95, I think. 95 or 94. I did not know it was a Warhammer game.
I know I would like to go back and play some of the older games, like I was talking about the War March one that's set in the medieval times. That one was a lot of fun because you get to control a lot of different units in that game. So you can control the human units, both the I guess what they're considered like paladins and stuff like that for the Imperium, and then you can actually control chaos units. You were able to control like some of the lower races, like the Skaven, which were like kind of like rats and everything. And at one point in that game, you were able to control elven units as well, and I think dwarven units. There was a whole wealth of stuff that you could do with that game. It was so much fun.
Are we still able to access those old games?
There are a few sites, I think, that you could still get them at. I know Steam used to have it, but I don't think Steam has the old one anymore, War March. I don't think they do.
Usually, if you want old PC games, GOG is the best site to get them, because they actually fix them up so they work on new computers. And if you have any issues, the forum is extremely helpful. With Steam, you basically buy them and hope they work. And if they don't work, you need to figure it out yourself.
Well, that was my biggest problem with Steam as far as the 40,000 game, because I got the base 40,000 game, the first one that they did. And that game is a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. But without all the expansion packs and being able to get all the different races and play through those stories, it gets boring really quick. Because your storyline is one single storyline, and it's dealing with the Space Marines for the, and that was it. You don't get to play as the Imperium main army. You don't get to play as the Chaos Soldiers. You don't get to play as the Orcs or any of the other races in the damn game. And to me, that was the fun part of that game with all the expansion add-ons. You even had one where you could play as the Necron and look to just like wipe everything out. I mean, to me, that's a lot of fun when they give you all these different options, and there's so much extra playability with the games when they add stuff like that. And that's one of the things that Steam doesn't do. They don't add all the expansion packs. So you get the base game, and that's pretty much it. Hey, what's going on, Parrothead? Good to see you. Luffy as God said, my brother is into Warhammer, so I played every game and even painted some of the figures. Nice.
Nice.
Lettuce and carrots for the piggy god. Yeah, I know. Oh my God, they went through so much food yesterday.
Luffy's from Norway, same as I. So he has probably good upbringing with Warhammer and probably Conan too.
Nice. Soul Assassin going ahead and drop the links out there. Check out the Temple and Institute channel. Dig down a bunch of Warhammer lore vids, both 40,000 and fantasy. Nice. It's always fun to check that out, especially for the people that may be wondering what the hell Warhammers is, but they heard about Henry Cavill is supposed to head that up. So it might be a good time for people to start checking out and see what Warhammer's all about. It's a very fun franchise, I think. And like we've said earlier, it's been around for a long time. There's novels, there's games, there's miniatures, there's role-playing games. There's all kinds of stuff attached to this franchise.
One thing I saw in an interview with Cavill from a few years ago that really, put my mind to rest a bit. He was asked on a talk show about the Warhammer stuff, and he said, yeah, his figures and stuff. And he said, painting them yourself is part of the hobby. And that means he's really into it.
Nice.
So he's not cheating, buying pre-painted stuff. He's sitting there painting them.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Bruce does that all the time. Bruce is always playing like the D&D figures and everything like that. He has a blast doing it, and that's been around since the 80s as well. I mean, once again, part of the hobby. You didn't go out and buy a lot of those figures already pre-painted. You got those. The older ones had some lead in them, but most of them were either like a pewter or some of the cheaper ones were lead, and then you would paint those things up.
I did it a little bit back in the late 90s, painting miniatures and stuff, but I'm colorblind. So when I brought them, the painted figures for D&D and stuff, someone asked me, why does that lady have green hair? And I was like, I don't know. So I kind of just stopped.
But as far as that, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that Henry has a little bit more control over it, like the guys that are working on Cobra Kai over there on Netflix, because Netflix bought out the rights for Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
but they let the showrunners take control of it,
and they left them in
keep it
peace
the way it should be. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I that's why I say I think there's still a possibility, especially with all the losses that Amazon has been piling up. They need some wins.
Yeah.
because this streaming service war has been heating up. I mean, Disney right now, Disney Plus they're getting plastered. They are losing billions of dollars a year with Disney Plus right now.
And Netflix is struggling too. They're in the red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Amazon and all the other ones, they all want the new Game of Thrones, But Amazon had it with the Wheel of Time if they had done it right, because that's 14 bricks of a book series, and it's done, it's finished, wrapped up, and they screwed it up after 2 episodes. They just completely fucked it up. They started bringing in events from book 4 and stuff, and yeah, it was it's a mess.
And it's a shame when they do stuff like that. Hey, I'm not creative 22 is in the chat. What's up, everyone? Merry Pigmas. I hope that you had a marvelous Pigmas, Christmas, or whatever it is that you're celebrating. We get the blanket statements now. Nelson the Psychopath says, due to orcs and Warhammer spread to the other planets through panspermia, sometimes lacing large asteroids with fungus. No, they wind up in the 40,000 series. They've got spaceships, and they go out through the different planetary systems and try to just pretty much take it over. The orcs in Warhammer 40,000, as far as like the video games, they're absolutely hilarious because they sound like they almost sound like old British punk rockers. They're absolutely hysterical the way they talk.
You know what's going to happen though? The woke people are going to say that the orcs are black people again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? They just need to go somewhere. I mean, why can't they just die off already? I mean, seriously, they're not breeding or anything. Shouldn't natural selection have taken over by now? Seriously. Luffia's guy says, I like the interview where he defends fans and says they are not toxic. Henry is a real nerd. He was fat when he was a kid, so he had a lot of time alone. That's horrible. It started out so good and it went someplace dark. Yeah, I don't think Amazon wants another Rings either. I don't think they're best to leave Cavill alone and let him do what he needs to do to make that show good. And I guarantee you that he can make it good if he's left alone. I fear for God of War.
Yeah, they're doing a God of War show. I'm worried about Netflix though, because they have the rights to Conan and Solomon Kane. They got the rights last year or something, and neither of those are woke at all.
Mm-hmm.
So when
yeah,
I'm worried because Conan's one of my favorite franchises, and it actually this month Conan turned 90.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's something else.
He predates Tolkien.
Wow.
And still nobody's talking about that new book, are they?
Oh, well, I did.
Well, I know you did.
Well, Lady Gravemaster got the book, and she is going to do a review of it on her channel. So that makes 2 of us. Which means Lady Gravemaster is promoted to Barbarian.
Yeah. Did you see Nelson's last comment? The woke don't breed, they recruit. It's so true.
Yeah,
that is true. But sooner or later, they're going to run out of recruits because people are going to get tired of hearing it. It's like every generation that comes after the one before winds up rebelling against that one. So they're going to get this generation that's going to rebel against everything that they're pushing. And it's just going to fade back out again.
Soul Assassin said that Conan had the first shared universe with King Cole. This is true, but it goes beyond that too, because King Cole is first. It takes place on Atlantis, and then as you see in the intro to the Conan movie, after the oceans drank Atlantis, blah blah blah, you have Conan, right? So it takes place thousands of years after the King Cole stuff. But eventually, in the Conan world, there's a kind of a cataclysm, and it turns into our world, which means Solomon Kane, which takes place in the 1600s, I think, in England, is also part of that same universe. So you have probably millions of years in that franchise, which means it's technically the same as the Lord of the Rings because it's an alternate history and mythology for Europe. You know?
Yeah.
No, well, according to those people, if unless you're of how can I put this nicely? Unless you're of the color persuasion, you don't have culture.
Yep.
That was the most ridiculous thing I think I'd ever heard. And I mean, they're so dumb they don't even realize how absolutely racist that shit sounds. It's so retarded. Luffy was asking Stig, Andre knows the guy with final say about all things Conan, and he won't greenlight anything woke and has final say over any scripts.
I'm a bit skeptical of that because if you look at the guy's Twitter, he's very, very woke. Very anti-Musk and Trump, and I hope he keeps that out of Conan though, because
I think a lot of not a lot of them, but I think that there are quite a few people still that they have ideals and everything, and their way of thinking is not conservative or anything like that, or maybe they just don't agree with certain people in certain political parties, but they might not necessarily be woke as far as what they like in their entertainment.
The new Conan novel that just came out, that one was not woke. It was definitely not woke. So fingers crossed.
No, we're hoping. Hey, Mikhail Wolf, what's going on? I hope that you were doing well. Hey, Reservoir Graham, what's up? I hope that you were doing well as well also. And we also got Chris Fisk is in the house. Damn, I keep forgetting to switch back to my normal account. What's up, Chris? I hope that you're doing well. I'm not creative. 22. Evil does not create, it only destroys. J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah. Well, it's a form of intellectual cancer, isn't it? They leech onto IPs and alter them more and more and more until it dies. It's like they mutate it.
That's a fantastic analogy.
Thank you. I came up with it myself to piss off people.
There you go, Chris Fisk. Yeah, I'm not conservative, and I have zero desire to see woke bullshit. Thanks, Soul Assassin. He is Swedish.
Right,
he has passed on projects before, and he learned his lesson after the last Conan movie got out of hand, so Conan is safe.
Oh. Well, to be fair about the last Conan movie, it actually stuck to the lore way better than the Arnold movies did. Momoa was good too, but the rest, the story in the movie, that was shit. That was bad. But it actually referenced quite a couple of Robert E. Howard's earliest work and all that. But holy shit, though, the story was bad.
Yeah, you know what? It's one of the things I've seen a few times though with that, and it's so ridiculous, and it's such a small percentage of people that think that way. I mean, we've had plenty of friends on the channel that have stopped by or that we have hung out with, and you know what? They don't think like this, and they are the same culture, say as Stig or myself, and they're sick and tired of this as well. It's a small percentage of people that sit there and say that shit. And a lot of times they get these people, I don't care if they're people color or if it's your stupid white soccer mom out there in suburbia land who latch on to this nonsense, and they get out there and they preach it and they get in your face. I mean, Wookie was talking about, Papa Cotton was talking about earlier. He had one in his face, one of those anti-racist idiots that just spout nonsense. They're everywhere. Some of them you may not even realize it at first until you get deep in the conversation, like how absolutely retarded they are.
You know what's kind of weird? You and I are white people. I grew up in Norway. You grew up in the U.S. Your life has more in common with an African American than it has with my life.
Mm-hmm.
Norway is a different culture than the U.S. Yet we get pulled together, right?
No, and then we're told that none of us have culture. That's always the one that I just laugh at because it's so hysterical. We have no culture.
Where did the Thor movies come from? Maybe,
Yeah, but they sure want to latch on to what non-culture we have and change it to their viewpoint.
Yeah. After they accused everyone of cultural appropriation of cultures that nobody had, apparently.
Now, Chris says it's all about demoralization propaganda. This intellectual cancer is working as designed. Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that.
Lord Fauci says that you're black.
Yeah, I seen that.
I will dispute that because I've seen Tommy. He's half black, so he has stripes. Like a zebra.
Which half of him is black?
I haven't seen that much.
What's up, CJ? Hope you're doing well.
But I hear some slapping when he stands up.
Oh my god.
Parrotheads thinks Chris is more conservative than the Republicans.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm not created 22. The woke is a parasite. It feeds on the host, and after it dies, it moves on. I've got parasites as big as my arm. One of the dwarves whose name I can't think of at the moment. Oh yeah, that was in the Hobbit. Lord Fauci. I always get some of the best people that stop into the chat. I have the N-word pass. Yeah, I'm still not going to use it because unlike some people that are dumb enough to use it, I don't. I've been called that from black friends when I lived in Trenton, but I still don't need to use it.
It looks like a pass, but it's really a go straight to jail card.
Marby dog, get that comment out of here right now.
What's up, Marby dog? Yep, it's destroying everyone's culture to create Marxist monoculture. Yeah, I would agree with that. Absolutely. At least he's not casually dropping N-bombs in live streams like some people. Oh, Harry Potter, you're so funny. What's up, Gap After Dark? Hope that you're doing well. As big as Tommy is, he's still smaller than Drew. Beware the Drew. Oh, goddamn. Where is it? I need it. There it is.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I feel better now. What's Chris saying? I'm conservative. Everything right of Stalin is now far-right conservative. This is the truth.
Why is it that right after someone mentions Drew, you get porn bots?
I don't know.
That's a good point.
Yeah, they heard the name and there they are.
Like in real life.
Yeah, I still find it absolutely hilarious that YouTube does nothing about those porn bots. Nothing whatsoever. Yet they will sit there and they will ban comments on videos or sometimes in live chats from regular people just trying to say hi. Like that shit just baffles me. Auntie Susan, you could suck a fuzzy guinea nut, you bitch.
Good heavens, that's a statement.
Gapped After Dark said porn follows him everywhere.
If dicks could fly, Auntie Susan would be an airport.
His tip arrives 6 days before he does. Oh no.
God.
But you know what? I know we're only going to run for an hour, and we're already at 40 minutes. Holy crap! Time flies when you're having fun. I wanted to bring up something older that I have that's a toy. I know it's not going old school, but I did a short on this one, and I'm actually still surprised that this thing is as in good of shape as it is. Let me guys know what you think about this one.
Hey everybody, what's going on? We got Helmet with us today. Of course, with Helmet here hanging out, you know it's space related. So what are we showing off today? From 1979, and from Mego, we have Vincent from the Black Hole.
Vincent's my name, sharpshooting's my game.
Now, this is an original one I've had since I was a kid, and unfortunately, his little blasters did get broken off, and a lot of the paint where his name was also wore off as well. Still, I think this piece, for its age, still looks pretty good. In case you were wondering what Vincent stood for, vital information necessary, centralized.
Someone
Very
really
cool.
wanted to spell Vincent, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. They kind of were like, okay, what can this stand for?
Necessary.
That is really cool.
It only has the necessary information, nothing else.
Exactly. Do you guys remember ever seeing that movie? I remember watching that when I was younger.
Never.
It's something that
watched
I haven't seen it really anywhere. Like even like a old VHS or like nothing. It's like something that's disappeared.
It's a Disney movie, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and it's R-rated, I think.
Well, yeah, there is some killing in there. So
No, it doesn't look familiar to me.
it was a decent movie. I remember at the time they were trying to get some of the camera equipment that George Lucas had used on Star Wars, and George wanted to rent it to him for apparently an exorbitant fee. So that's when Disney actually created their own camera system. So this movie was actually the first use of their new camera systems that they had to create because they didn't want to pay George all the money for using his. That was back when they used to be creative. Now, Nelson says, aren't all Italians and Sicilians a little bit black because of the Moor invasion that made all women in that region the blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl on the couch surrounded by black guys from the meme?
Southern and Sicilian. Yeah.
The more, the merrier.
Well, this went really dark quick.
Oh, wow.
Marby Dog, Black Hole is a great retelling of Moby Dick. Loved it. You know, I liked that movie. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was fun. It wasn't like the best story in the world, but it was just a fun movie, and that's all it needed to be.
I have a suspicion that Moby Dick is allegory for something rather naughty. Because first off, the name Moby Dick, a white whale, which is a sperm whale, and every time they see him, they yell, "There she blows." I'm thinking there's some allegory going on.
Yeah, Papa Cop wants to know what did Bob stand for? That I don't recall, and I never had that figure because that was one in the States. It was extremely difficult to come by because they released that more in Canada. Apparently, they didn't really release it very much in the United States. So if you managed to get a Bob figure, that was a bit of a rarity.
The best Bob was from Twin Peaks.
I really thought that he was asking something else. Something else.
No, the other bot that's in the movie looks pretty much like Vince, except he's all crushed up like a tin can. And his name is Bob.
Okay.
What's up, George? Good to see you again.
George.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not creative 22. I agree, Tommy. I've been wanting to do a video on the spam and porn bots, especially ones that say, text me, I have a reward for you. You know what? I'm starting to see a lot of that crap on Twitter as well being sent to my DMs with links to .coms and other like Jesus, like how many times do I got to freaking delete these things or report them for spam? I mean, shit, Twitter, you still haven't freaking answered my appeal from over fucking 10 months ago.
I got a clever bit of spam mail a few years ago. It was 3 of them in a row. The first one was for Viagra, right? Second one was for some live streaming porn slut. And the third one was for Russian brides. Some kind of, if you fall for the Viagra one, you know, you're more vulnerable to the next one. And then you have to, you know, shit. Yeah, watch porn now. I need a Russian bride, right?
Soul Assassin says you could rent the black hole on YouTube. Now that's an interesting one. For the few people that might be out there that actually have Disney Plus, does Disney Plus even have the black hole on their service? Because I think that would be an interesting one to find out. Did they bother putting that on there, or did they bury that movie because it's so un-Disney-like?
I don't know.
CGH, he's still talking about that. Return of the King extended cut is 4 hours long as the Snyder Cut Justice League. And I must be getting old because I can't sit and watch a 4-hour movie in one sitting anymore.
I just Googled it. It says, watch the Black Hole full movie on Disney Plus.
Okay. Biosanitation Battalion. Snyder bot. Did someone say bots? All we need is Jesus, God, and the devil now. I've had him in my chat before. It was absolutely hilarious. I thought that they were going to start a holy war. Keep getting commercials for Ukrainian brides. There's nothing wrong with that, Papa.
Those are sex bombs these days.
Jesus, yeah, that freaking appeal that I got going on with freaking Twitter is just ridiculous at that point. You know, at this point, if they why don't they just completely just nuke my old Twitter account at this point? If you're never going to take the appeal serious. Well, you know what? They locked it out a while ago, and they said, "Oh, we're reviewing your appeal," and they never reviewed it, and that's why I just kind of like gave up at this point. Lassie was bugging me to check it, so I checked it just the other day. Yeah, it's still locked out, and it still says appeal under review. Yeah, my ass, it's under review. Chris said he can go for a Russian bride, but he don't want to get killed in his sleep and robbed blind. Well, wouldn't you get robbed and then killed?
Hopefully.
What's up, Jens? Jens says, rent a black hole, by how much first? Oh, Disney is a black hole nowadays. Hey, what's up, Bone? Good to see you, man. I hope that you were doing well. There's Jesus. Say what? Say what? Say what? There goes Satan. Satan's in the house as well. Good to see you guys. And God is here. You shall not pass. I'm telling you, the best chat on YouTube. How many porn and NASA sites do you get while looking up a black hole?
I have a checkmate thing for the religious arguments. You know how Jesus was nailed to a cross, right?
Oh God! God!
The Viking god has a hammer, so the Vikings win.
That's horrible.
So, yeah, I know.
This is blasphemy.
I know. I blasphemed on there. I just thought it was interesting.
That actually is really good.
Who will you side with? The guy nailed to a cross or the guy holding the hammer? You know?
They should make a movie of that.
Yeah.
Bone says he watched The Black Hole on Disney Plus years ago. He said he thought it was overrated. I thought it was a fun movie. I didn't think it was supposed to be anything more than just a fun movie. And if that's what you take it as, great. No, go ahead, Lasso.
Well, to answer whose question was that? How many porn sites? Soul Assassin. Okay, so none, because I specifically searched for is Black Hole on Disney, and the first thing that popped up was the movie, so I stopped there.
That'd have been funny if you got like a big picture of Lizzo. Ah!
Well, it's very easy to search wrong, because let's say you're searching for cliffhanger. Well, the B is below the H.
Yeah.
Accidents happen.
Nelson wants to know, how many languages do you speak, Stieg?
Norwegian and English. You could add Swedish and Danish to it because they're similar to Norwegian, and speak a little bit German, a little bit French, a tiny bit Elven.
Oh, shit. I like this one, Chris, and I'm going to call that the first drive-by comment.
What car is that coming up? Creepy.
Drive-by!
So apparently it's not a black hole anymore. That's a hole of color now.
Yeah, that you put Latinx in.
It's a clit hanger.
Oh. That's like a ring.
If you're going to blaspheme, at least be funny when you do it. And what's up, Teal? I'm 29. It's good to see you. I hope you were doing well. I hope you had an awesome Pygmus. Technically, it was a Roman soldier holding the hammer.
Yeah.
Technically. Oh, no. That's horrible. Stieg, do you speak commie?
No.
Sure, we all do, just a little bit. You racist bigots.
You understand? I understand it, though. Because you see it on Twitter.
That's all that's on Twitter anymore. It's so ridiculous with some of these people. It does seem like they're getting louder and louder again. And I know I've talked about this one in the past. Whenever these people are worried and they feel like they're being pushed out is when they start getting louder.
Yeah,
it's like the ignorant twat in the front of the line at a store that's way too long around the holidays who wants to argue about the price. And when she knows she's losing and that she has to pay full price, she starts getting louder and louder, like it's going to change the fact that she has to pay that price.
Tommy, I feel like you're recounting a tale here.
No, I'm recounting plenty of those tales. One of them involves me throwing oh God, what was it? A Milky Way bar at a manager's head.
Jeez.
A Milky Way.
Well, it was the only thing I could grab that was sitting next to the registers. We were in this big long line. It was Christmas Eve, and the lines had to have been, at least each line had to been 25 to 30 people deep. So this freaking manager walks up because they were getting ready to change shifts. So apparently the next shift was in a meeting and they weren't coming out right away. So this cunt decides, everybody turn your registers off. Leave these people sitting here. They'll have to wait till the next shift gets done with their meeting. And she's sitting there laughing. Okay. So I grabbed the Milky Way and tossed it at her head. Whew, just missed two. Boom. I said, laugh some more, bitch. And then she walked off real quick. And I'm like, yeah. And wife's like, oh, you're going to call the cops? Fuck them. I don't give a shit. Then I started picking candy bars off the rack and eating them and passing them around to the people in line. I was getting ready to cause an uprising. I'm surprised they don't have a committee for me for doing that. Inciting a riot at a Walmart.
I'm going to laugh if that ends up on Twitter, because they post videos of that.
Jens hit 180 darts, huh? 180, Jens? Really? Well, 180. It's like you were throwing like some kind of bed or something. A real man would have threw over 200 blindfolded. Yeah, soy bitch.
So you got 180 points.
Yeah.
Thanks for the tip.
You speak Jens. CGH, I did notice that this holiday Christmas saying foolishness didn't happen this year. It's almost like no one cares about the foolishness and just would rather say Merry Christmas.
Well, Kwanzaa, Kamala Harris started celebrating Kwanzaa before it was a thing.
Yeah, I read that. I read that. Like,
but he's right though. It's been there's been less attacks on Christmas this year than usual.
That's because everybody's worried about everything else that's going on. I mean, what the hell? You got freaking Paris burning right now.
Yeah, and it's not being reported in the news in Norway at all. All they're doing now is actually articles about Americans freezing to death. There were five. I saw 5 of them today.
That's pretty
Nothing
interesting.
about Paris.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. They're not covering it.
Yeah. Well, they get most of their American news from CNN and MSNBC. So
right.
Now, Chris says he threw a Baby Ruth at someone's head once, but it wasn't a Baby Ruth. Ah, really slinging some shit there, ain't you, Chris? Papa hopes that's just a joke. CJ said, of course he would. Tommy's a founding member of GWA, Guinea Pigs with Attitudes. Yeah, guineas with attitudes. This is absolutely true. All right, Parrothead, you have a good one.
Bye, Parrothead. Notice how Chris hasn't said no, that's just a joke. He's just been quiet.
That's some real simian behavior of you, Chris. We are shocked. Schwanza, I learned how to say it from Nancy Pelosi. Nuclear fusion is a thing. There's also no talk about North Korea testing their rockets. Yeah, I think there was a mention of it once, and then it just vanished out of all the articles. Frankie, what's up, Frankie? I forgot. Happy Waka Wanza. Wakwanza? Is that Wakwanza, or did you meant to say Wakwanza?
Or what? Yeah, what? Waka waka, like Fonzie the bear.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I started reading it. Luffy says nothing strange, but that Paris burns every other week. They ride if a bus is late.
Yep.
It is true.
I think it's the Kurds this time that are rioting.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. Yeah, because they were saying everybody's a bunch of Islamophobes and everything. Like, it's just, when you import third world, don't act surprised when your country turns into third world. That's the way it works.
Yeah,
facts.
It's like, don't be afraid of us, or we'll burn your city.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing to worry about.
Why are you so scared of us?
I'm not scared of you. I just don't like you.
I had a girlfriend from that area once. She was a 10, 9, 8. Sorry.
Oh, I'm just trying to diffuse the situation. Honeymoon in Paris, anyone? Chris says the turds are rioting. Of course. Yeah. When you import that shit, it'll stink up your whole country.
Yeah. Third world country.
I'm scared of Lhasa more than Paris, folks.
No, you're not. Stop.
The crowd raiser, huh? I know. I'm just busting your balls, Jens. Come on. Don't get serious.
So you did a 180 and threw the dart backwards?
He's not answering. That must be it.
Just swung around and threw it.
But well, I'm gonna start winding this down because it's been about an hour. I had a rough day today cleaning out the guinea pig cages, and I did throw my freaking back out again. So that's always fun. So now I need to go take some freaking painkillers and rest up. Maybe go pull out one of my vape pens and go smoke myself retarded outside for a while. That's what you have to do sometimes when these kind of things happen. But as we're running out, we're going to let the people out there know what you guys got going on.
You know me, but I don't remember smelling you before. Who are you and where do you come from?
Who is your daddy and what does he do? Yeah, I'm not doing anything unless, I'll just pop on if someone asks me on, but nothing set in stone until the first Saturday of January. We'll be doing the book talk thing on Teresa's channel again. And probably something on Mara's channel. But that's it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Go sub to Lasso.
Hey, thanks for being here again, Stieg. I always appreciate you coming through, man. It's always fun talks. Always fun talks.
Well, thank you. I feel the same way, darling.
Now don't get all mushy on me.
Such heroic nonsense.
Of course, Lasso.
This must be where they sacrifice virgins.
Oh, that's my favorite. Well, thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun. Good to stream with you as well, Stieg. Yeah, so Wednesday on my channel, I'll be doing a horror movie review. The movie of the week is The Gate. It's free to watch on Tubi. And that's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, you can find my channel. It's at The Lasso of Truth with a 0 and of, or you can find me on Twitter, also at The Lasso of Truth with a 0 and of. Otherwise, hope everybody has a great night, and it was awesome to be here.
No, it was a pleasure to have you on. I'm looking forward to what toy review you're going to do next. I mean, when you did the Gizmo one the other day, it reminded me that I really need to get back to all those damn Gremlin figures I have, because I think I'm shy of 3 figures that I don't have for all of them.
Wow.
One is the construction ones, 2-pack. The other one is the back to school Gremlin.
Yep.
And is there a third one, or is it just the
two? So the lady on the panel reviewed her toy, which is a toy you're not supposed to get wet or feed after midnight.
That's right. Yep.
Just checking.
And then I showed the Gremlin too.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, you did the gamer Gremlin.
Yeah. Yeah.
But oh God, you reminded me I need to get back to those things and start reviewing all those ones. The other thing I was going to mention, I don't know if you'd seen it. I might have mentioned it to you. The Gizmo figure, they actually have an accessory pack for him. It comes with the car. It comes with like a different head or something like that.
Yeah, I saw it that you mentioned that in the comments, and I was wondering if they did that the Corvette that he drove in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of the things that they included with it?
They included one, but I can't remember if it's big enough for him to sit in, because the accessory pack is, it's obviously it's a lot bigger than one of the actual NECA figure boxes. It's like probably 3 times the size of that, but I don't remember if that car was big enough for that Gizmo to fit in or not.
Okay.
But I mean, I remember they had a little pink Corvette in there, and they had like a few different heads and hands and a few other things. So I think they might have actually had a hand that would hold stuff.
Oh, good. Yeah, because that was an issue. I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I went looking for it and I couldn't find it. You know what I did pick up today though?
Was that?
I found my Toonie Terrors Jaws.
Nice.
So yeah, I got Jaws and Quint. So
Awesome.
there'd be a review incoming for that one. But what do you got? What's up, Time Prophet? It was National Lampoon's European Vacation. Totally took the piss out of the British. No wonder the Americans thinks we are mad. I don't think y'all are mad. I've actually had a few discussions with some people from Britain that were down here in Florida a couple times. So I have no problem with anybody. It's only if somebody's an idiot that I have a problem with them. And I hate Harry Potter wizards. But guys, thank you so much for being here. As always, you all have been amazing hanging out in the chat, chatting with us, and we get to chat back with you. And you guys are what make this so much fun every single week when we run it. It's just not the same without you. Hope that you all had an incredibly wonderful Christmas, Boxing Day, and Pigmas as well. And you know what, guys? Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent. And we will catch you next time. Be sure to check out Lasso on Wednesday. Be sure to watch for when Steve pops up on anybody's channel, including Mara. I know he's going to be going back there sooner or later. I know he will.
Yeah, once you go Mara, you never go back.
Nah, there it is. Guys, I'm not sure, but I believe Drew will be running United Resistance tomorrow. So watch out for that one, and watch out for all the friends that we have. Thank you so much for being here, and we will catch you all next time. Later, y'all.
Against the picture you should bet. Assimilated, but you don't know yet. Attacking us is not very wise. Always growing if we see through your lies.
What we are looking at, good and evil, right and wrong. It's a pig world order. A pig world order. A pig world order. A pig world order. Somebody's going to want to get their toes nibbled off in here. A pig world order. 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 Better hide your toes as we're coming for them. A pig world order. A pig world order. A pig world order.